Welcome to Jones and for Sports, where we make sports better.
Good, y'all. It's your boy Jones, and welcome to another episode of E&J Full Court Shot. And as always, I'm joined with my host, E. What's good, boy?
Good.
And today we have a special guest, me and E's boy from way back. But today he's coming in as an enemy, like in the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. My boy Freddie. What's up, boy?
Yo, what's going on, y'all?
We good. Right now we would be bragging normally is what we do on our Tuesdays when we come in on this show. Is coming and brag about what the Lakers did, this, that, and the third. But unfortunately, the Heat has something to say about it, even when they were down two of their best players. And Freddie must be happy today. So Freddie, how you feeling today?
Freddie? This is good. What we call this? What we call these? What, Victory Mondays? Yeah, it's more like Victory Mondays.
Wow. All right. Well, since we're starting off the smoke, we bringing that Jones of the smoke to the camera right now, because me and Freddie been going at it on social media for the past few days. E as well. Nico, you're part of this too. So when you hear this, make sure you stay tuned into what we about to say, because me and E coming at y'all motherfuckers. But
Nico, I'm here. Don't worry about it, Nico. I'm holding this down.
How did you feel watching your team get that W yesterday? I know you were one of the few people that actually really have confidence in your team that can actually win this series. So how did it feel?
Actually, it felt good watching them actually playing their style of basketball. I feel like the first game, it was like a fill-out game. They was getting, not going to lie, they was getting bullied. They looked intimidated a little bit by AD and by LeBron, and they was basically able to do whatever they wanted to do. So to me, they looked intimidated. Game two, they looked a little bit, they still was feeling their way out. They're trying to see what they could get away with, what they couldn't. They got to the free throw line a lot, but again, AD and LeBron was still feeling their type of way that they were already comfortable. They was basically leaving their mark. Then game three, which was yesterday, they came out and played their type of basketball, moving the ball around, driving, putting guys into foul trouble. Jimmy Butler, buckets. He was just playing his game. He put the heat on his shoulders and said, you know what? We down two dudes. I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm just keep playing aggressive and talk my shit. LeBron started talking his shit, and he started talking his shit back to LeBron. And it just felt good. It just felt good just like being a Heat fan, seeing them actually play, showing that they could actually hang with these guys,
Yeah, that's facts. I've had them in 5 anyways, but just being a fan of sports, you always want to see a good championship series, no matter who it is. And I knew Miami had it in them to actually win a game, because you don't get to the finals by accident, you know what I mean? So, and they beat the number one team in the whole NBA getting here. They took out a good Boston team. They took out the Raptors. No, someone else took out the Raptors, but still.
I don't even remember who they played the first round. Who they played?
Indiana.
Oh, yeah, the Pacers. Yeah, they swept the Pacers. Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely deserve that. And Jimmy Buckets, like you said, he's one of my favorite players because of his I don't give a fuck attitude. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
He's a real dog. He's what PG and the Clippers were looking for. A guy like him. Because he's a real fucking dog. He's not fucking Paul George, playoff P, pandemic P and shit. But E, you being the real Laker fan that you are, how did it feel to take that loss yesterday?
I think what made the loss worse is just how badly they fucking played. 10 turnovers in the first quarter alone. Like, nobody was on that game. AD didn't show up. LeBron was bitching too much, crying for fouls, not finishing at the basket, settling for stupid-ass jump shots. Danny Green, never mind. You know, I'm not even gonna like stress myself out. But like, yeah, they played awful basketball. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. Jimmy Butler did his thing, getting to the foul line, putting that pressure. You know, getting AD in foul trouble was big for them. But just like they never got going. They went into that game. I feel like they went into that game thinking, all right, it's already 3-0. Let's, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like
Yeah.
2-1. Not saying tomorrow's a must win, but you want to let them know you're still in control of this series.
Facts.
Because all it
Facts.
takes is enough confidence, and then you'll see. I won't be shocked when you find out Bam Adebayo's playing tomorrow.
Yeah, no question. I think there's no question.
Tie it and shit like that.
I think
they
tomorrow's
played
a must-win game for both teams.
I agree.
Because to me, if you let Miami tie that series up, now you're giving them confidence, and they're gonna only get healthy. And now you get Bam back, and you got Kelly Olynyk already looking confident. That's 2 games in a row. He dropping 20, 24 points coming off the bench. He's getting his 3-point shots going. So now you put him out there with Bam, then you got a little problem now. And then Jimmy starts going. Then now if you get Kendrick Nunn going, you know, they're gonna have a little problem. You can't give a young team confidence, and that's what I'm a Heat fan, and I even know that if the Lakers would have come out with that same aggression that they had game 1 and 2 yesterday, they would have crushed Miami.
The one thing I can say though, like from these playoffs alone, the Lakers bounced back after a loss very well.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first two rounds they lost game 1, especially against Houston. They got the ass kicked game 1.
And then that's why I said it's a turnaround also because Miami's never lost 2 games in a row. You know what I mean? So it's like now it was to try to see how they bounce back from losing 2 in a row. They always been jumping out on top of teams, getting the early lead in the series. So now it's like now they playing against their backs against the walls.
I say tomorrow look to see because they didn't really get the chance to get him in the game, like get going yesterday. AD, I say expect them to go feed off of him early.
Yeah. But
I expect him to have a big game too.
He didn't show up yesterday. He did not show up yesterday.
Yeah, because they put him in foul trouble early, so they couldn't. He had to sit on that bench because there really wasn't much that he could do. He had like 3 fouls going into half, right?
Yeah, he picked up 2 fouls early in the first quarter, which fucks up the rotation because the rotation usually is LeBron usually goes out midway to the first quarter and usually sits until maybe about the end, and AD usually plays the whole first quarter. So, but a guy like AD who's getting up 20-something shots a game, you got to get in rhythm. So I expect them to go back to him early and often tomorrow.
Yeah, because no lie, LeBron looked like he needed help yesterday because without AD, you see that other production wasn't there. He was looking for somebody to try to feed off that energy when he wasn't getting it because he was making his shots here and there, but once he started settling for freaking
I seen that the fourth quarter when I seen LeBron settling for threes, I say, yeah, they're gonna lose this game.
Exactly.
Because once LeBron loses that ability to attack, we all know he's not the best shooter in the world. So LeBron's best part is get to the basket. And me and Freddie was texting after the game last night, and we said it. LeBron was complaining too much. He was looking for the foul way too much. That's the one beef I have on him the whole playoffs. He needs to just finish at the fucking basket. Stop expecting these refs to make the calls. Obviously, we all know by now these refs are make a call one play, the next play, the same foul will happen, they won't call it.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'll say as far as it being a must-win game. I think it's a must-win game for both teams, just like you said, Freddie. The Lakers need to win this game because if they don't, that's building way too much confidence in this team that already believes that they can win this. So, and they're the underdog, so there's not much for them to lose in this aspect. So I definitely think it's a must-win game for the Lakers, and obviously the Heat being down 2-1, you don't want to go down 3-1. Also, the other thing that I want to say is, yes, AD was in foul trouble, but he also, not just him, the team in general just looked like they weren't in it. They just weren't in it. It looked like the last series when they went up 2-0 against the Denver Nuggets, and then Game 3, the Nuggets came out hot and destroyed them. That's exactly what it looked like. Like they just took their foot off the gas.
The most frustrating part is if you watch the turnovers, and I'm not trying to take away from Miami. They're a great defensive team. Some of those turnovers, a lot of those turnovers weren't even from great defensive pressure. It was just them passing the ball, guys not making the right cut to the ball, just stupid shit.
Yeah, definitely. Things that they need to clean up. And I expected it.
The fact that LeBron gets stripped on a fast break from Kelly Olynyk. Are you serious, bro?
Well, I mean, you can't blame him for that.
Nah, that's just everybody. No, but that shows you the mindset. Like everybody wasn't there, and it's on the leaders of the team, as in AD and Bron. And you guys aren't showing that fire and stuff like that. You expect the role players to do it?
Right. No, absolutely, and you could tell because it was just one of those days. Because you can even see. I'm not saying he's on the same level as AD and LeBron, but even Rondo, when he comes in with that second unit, he usually gives them a lot of fucking energy. And even yesterday, he didn't have it. He wasn't hitting from three. He wasn't making those amazing passes. He just looked regular yesterday. So as a team, they just didn't look good. But I'm willing to bet that next game they are going to bounce back hard because they know that Miami's coming. They know they're coming. They smell blood now. They got a taste of it. Now they're gonna come full blast.
But sometimes you need that little.
He's got to be prepared for that.
Sometimes I feel like, especially with the Lakers, because they don't. I'm not saying Miami does, but with the Lakers being the favorites, a lot of those guys don't have the championship experience. So now
they do.
You can
got more experience in Miami.
No, but I'm saying with them being the favorite already up 2-0, I feel like guys can get a little too comfortable, like start counting that championship as it's theirs already. So sometimes you need a little of that gut punch to say, no, you're still in this fight. The fight's not over. You're still in a fight. That's the 7-2 games ain't nothing.
Yeah, and the fact that Jimmy Butler came out during this press conference before Game 3 and said Miami was going to win, that should be a sign right there to the Lakers. Like, yo, this dude is saying that they're going to win. They're not worried about who's on what side, who's doing this. They're just worried about themselves, and they're going to come out there and play. He said it. They're not backing down from nobody. And you got to have that confidence. You need somebody on your team that's a leader like that that's going to talk and speak about y'all like that. He said they're not going to back down from nobody. Nobody wants them. They're not supposed to be there. Nobody wants them to be there. They're not the favorites. So,
of course,
like, it is what it is.
Everything is written against them. None of them are a top 3 draft pick or the number 5 seed. Some of them were undrafted. All the stories there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you say, the more you allow them to win and shit like that, they're already playing with none to lose. So if they go into a game, do or die, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And Game 7 against a team like that is scary because you got guys like Duncan Robinson who could just let it fly like crazy. Tyler Hero. And that's another thing. Tyler Hero, he started putting it on towards the fourth quarter, but he hasn't really been doing much in these finals. Duncan Robinson came alive a little yesterday, so he made his threes. He made some threes. You have to jump on the advantage while you have it with a lot of their guys not going right now. And keep your foot on their necks and get rid of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest key players in the game for yesterday's game was Miles Leonard. Him being able to shoot as good as he can, opening up that floor, made a huge difference in the game for them and why Jimmy Buckets was able to get to the basket so much. And that took Dwight out the game. I don't even think Dwight played the second half because he's not really needed at that point.
Dwight was only in when Miles Leonard was in. Once they go to Kelly Olynyk, Dwight's out. But I feel like in that case with Leonard, if he does start, the Lakers have to go small faster, bring in Morris faster, and just because you can save some fouls with AD by letting AD guard Myers Leonard.
Yeah.
You save some of that foul trouble. You don't have to worry about him fouling out there. And then you have that smaller defensive lineup, you can switch on anybody.
Yeah, I agree. But my thing is, I would still keep Dwight in there. I'd give him a little bit more extra minutes because, yes, I get it. He's not meant to be out there to be guarding 3-point shooters and shit like that. But he still has that athleticism to where he doesn't have to guard them, the full from paint to 3-point line. He still needs to. He can still be that threat in the paint for when Jimmy Buckets is going to the rim because we didn't have that. Now, obviously, AD wasn't in the game. He was out for most of the game, and obviously in the game that makes a difference. I think with AD being in foul trouble, Dwight could have been in that position to help them out. But the Lakers still made a run, and that was still a great sign to see that they were still close. They were down by 13, made a run,
That's the
was
thing.
up by 1 or 2.
That's the one
things
thing.
like that. So,
but that's the one thing that even a lot of the analysts were saying, like, about Miami. Like, Jimmy played great, especially in the first half. Like, you did great and everything. But it was only a 5-point lead at half.
Mm-hmm.
So with Miami giving you their best shot, and you still had it, and you played your worst, and you still had a chance to get that game from them, shows you if everybody plays to what they're capable of playing, it's not a matchup. I'm sorry.
But the majority of it was LeBron taking over in that first half.
yeah,
He
was aggressive.
If LeBron was not if he played the way he played in the fourth quarter and third quarter, Miami would have blew them out. If it wasn't for him hitting that next gear or flipping that switch and saying, you know what, we down by 13 right now, let me start being aggressive, because that's when he started driving, getting and ones, doing everything that he usually does. That's the only way that they made it a 5-point game, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then where did Rondo come out of nowhere hitting all these threes? That's irritating me right now too.
He is hitting them. It's to the point where I'm just like, all right, I'm okay with him shooting that shit.
Listen. As the Lakers fan,
I'll
tell you this right now. I want Rondo shooting a 3 before Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma.
Nah.
Like, that's how confident I am over Rondo shooting over these other two bums.
Nah, I still like Kuz. Kuz still got.
Girl is there. That's why he ain't focused.
Word up.
Who's got to stop trying to be a fucking IG model and just fucking play ball?
He balling. Give Kuz some credit. He out there balling. He's doing better than Danny Green. I'll tell you that much.
Sean, me and you combined can do better than Danny Green.
Okay, then. So
That's what I want to know. What's J.R. Smith not doing nothing? He's just taking up.
J.R. Smith don't really play.
He got 1 3.
That's it.
But to be honest, J.R. that was his very few playing time. He's not playing like that.
They need to put my man Udonis Haslem.
J.R. only playing.
Udonis.
Listen, Udonis is only there for leadership.
Put my nigga Udonis in. Then I'll start cheering for Miami.
Elbows around, bro.
Put my nigga Udonis in. I'll start cheering for Miami. That's my guy right there.
That's fan.
You did. He won us. He helped win us 3 chips. I still got mad love for you guys. But Freddie, who do you think outside of Bam and Jimmy Buckets is the X factor for your team?
To be honest, I think everybody's gonna want me to say or expect me to say Tyler Hero, but to me, it's Duncan Robinson. He needs to get going. You know what I mean? Like, he has the green light right now to shoot. That boy is just catching it and shooting it from anywhere. Either he's shooting bricks and all that. They're giving him the green light to shoot. He has to make them count, because I could count multiple times that the Lakers left him wide open and he's not making them count.
And some of them, he looked timid and didn't even want to shoot it.
Yeah, but the thing that I like about him now, instead of him, they know that he wants to shoot the 3. So instead of him shoot 3, now he's pump faking, he's taking it and driving now.
Right.
It looks so weird because that's not part of his game. So when he does it, he looks so like
unorthodox and shit.
Yeah, he looks uncomfortable doing it, but he's gonna have to switch his game up. So I think if he can start going, get going, and him also, and I could say it also, Duncan Robinson. I'm gonna keep it on with Duncan Robinson. Him on the defensive end, he needs to play more aggressive defensively.
Yeah.
Because they're going after him. Everybody that he's guarding, they're making shots on him. So he has.
Even that, you know they're going after him because whoever he guards is setting the pick for LeBron, and LeBron's gonna punish him.
Yeah, but what they did yesterday that I was seeing, they had him. He was basically holding that role person, and giving Jimmy Butler or whoever was guarding LeBron on a roll, giving them enough time to switch back and take him.
That's why I feel like the Lakers have to attack that earlier. And if that's the case, whoever he's holding, roll hard to the fucking basket.
Speaking of switching, Jimmy buckets, especially late in that fourth quarter, there was nobody they could throw at him besides LeBron, who guarded him a few times. But other than LeBron, nobody could fucking guard Jimmy buckets.
He had fucking KCP looking like a fucking baby out there. The way he was.
He had Danny Green, Kuz, Morris. He had them all looking like babies out there. That's got to change for the Lakers. They cannot. I'm not saying Jimmy Buckets isn't a baller and he can't do those things, but he made it look like it was AD doing.
It's a catch. Jump, nigga. Nigga shit froze.
You're going to have to do something about that because I really didn't like that. But, going forward, who do you think need to step up for your Lakers outside of AD and LeBron?
Outside of AD and LeBron? Rondo makes that second unit go. All those other guys cannot create a shot for themselves.
Yeah.
So it has to be Rondo.
I'm not gonna lie. The second unit for the Lakers surprised me because I thought Miami's second unit was gonna kill the Lakers second unit. But that's when I was expecting Dragic to be healthy, coming off the bench also, you know what I mean? So that's a right there. That's about 20 points that Dragic got. So I was expecting him to be there because technically Hero comes off the bench and drops about 20 a game or double-digit points. So that right there, I was like, okay, our bench is better than their bench. But so far, it's been the opposite.
One thing from our second unit, I got to give credit, though. Alex Caruso's playing his ass off on the defensive end.
He is. He is. I love what Alex Caruso's doing. He's, like you said, he's playing great on the defensive end and then creating offense for them on the offensive side. So he's got to continue to be that dog with Rondo. Them two in that second unit.
Oh, I got one big thing, too, for the fucking Lakers.
Go ahead.
Make your fucking free throws.
Word.
Awful. When it's like, if it's not AD shooting a free throw, I'm already waiting for the miss. LeBron included. Because LeBron can't make fucking free throws for shit.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
Looking like Shaq out there.
Horrible at the free throws. Last question. Actually, no, before I go to the last question, my key players outside of the star players for each team, for the Lakers, I agree, it's Rondo because he creates the offense for them. And outside of that, it's over. They got nothing on offense. They're just Kuz and Green throwing up fucking bricks. So they need Rondo to create some offense for them, and he's been doing that so far. For the Miami Heat, I would agree with you that it'd be Duncan, but I'm going to go with Tyler Hero because he's been so important for them throughout these playoffs. Whenever they needed him to step up, he stepped up. And so far in these finals, he hasn't done that so much. Maybe he had, periods where he does it, but not for a full 48 minutes. If we get that type of Tyler Hero with a complete Miami Heat team, like say we got that from him yesterday, that would have been a blowout.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a blowout if we would have got that Tyler Hero.
Oh, he's saving that for tomorrow.
He needs to be the X factor going forward. But you can also just say the shooters, him, Duncan, Olynyk, all those guys, all the shooters.
Yeah.
How they got here, pretty much, is shooting.
Yeah.
So those are my X factors for
Jay Crowder. He's been a little bit quiet too in the playoffs. He's been good defensively, but offensively he's been a little bit quiet.
Yeah. He needs to have 25 plus.
Yeah.
Why you looked at me like that?
I don't think that's his game, 25 plus. I mean,
that's not his.
No, but he's to me, if he gives them 15 to 18, that's good because he's the only one showing that he can knock down the open 3-point shot consistently.
Right. But the reason I agree with you in any other series, 15 to 18 is fine. But against this Laker team without Gordon Dragic, he needs to his points are going to have to go up.
I'm just saying, like,
those points got to be replaced.
For a guy who's not really a scorer to do that, like, I understand putting that on Hero because Hero's proven to be a fucking scorer.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Hero has to be their second scorer outside of Jimmy Butler.
Right, that's my point. That's why I said 20 to 25 plus. He and you know, Bam.
But I think a
he
guy from
comes back
Miami
or
that
not,
has to
he's
step
not going to
up.
be 100%. So
Oh, no. I think a guy who needs to step up, if I'm a Heat fan, Kendrick Nunn.
Yes.
Hasn't done shit, and all he does is commit stupid fouls.
yeah, he does commit a lot of stupid fouls. Last game wasn't his best game, but the game before that, game 2, he had a
Yeah, he was the runner-up for Rookie of the Year. He got to go out there and prove it and show it. He
Yeah.
can ball. That boy, I seen him when the season was still a regular season before this whole pandemic. He was dropping sometimes 50, 40 points a game.
He was the starter the whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, he has the ability to do it. He just got to go out here and perform in the big stage. It looks like he looks like he's breaking out of his shell a little bit. You know, he's driving a little bit more. It looks like he's breaking out that little shell a little bit. So hopefully,
got the nerves out. Absolutely. Last question, Freddie. We'll start with you. How do you see this series ending?
Oh, that's not a question. I'm gonna stick to what I've been saying since.
Break it down for me. Don't just break it down for me. How do you see these games playing out?
I say I can see Miami tying the series up tomorrow.
Okay.
I can see the Lakers taking the next game. What was that, game
5, I think. Yeah, 5.
Lakers taking 5 and then Miami forcing a game 7. And then it could go either way then. I think also once you give somebody life, man, it's like anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like once you give a team hope or hope that they can hang with you and they know that they can play with you, anything can happen. And like you said before, you don't want to let that team get into a game 7. It was the same thing when people was playing Denver. You didn't want to get Denver into a game 7 because anybody could get hot. What happens? The Lakers get into a game 7. That'd be the day that Hero comes out and drops 40. You know what I mean? He starts getting hot. So that's what I think. I think Miami ties the series up tomorrow. I could be wrong about the next game after that too, about the Lakers taking the 3-2 lead. Miami could just go on and just take the rest of these games. You know what I mean? Like I could be wrong also. It could go either way. But I'm a Heat fan, and I'm gonna just keep it the same way I've been saying. The Heat is either gonna take this in 6 or 7 games.
Woo! Bold statement, but I respect it. I've been
saying that since you made your post about predictions and all that, and I'm
did.
It. So
he did. So I respect it. He's been saying that since day one. It's a bold ass statement, but I gotta respect it. E, how do you see this goddamn series ending, man? Tell me how we ending this shit, man.
Lakers in 5.
You know the vibes.
I think just based on everything we've seen after a loss, they get it back together. I feel like they're definitely gonna handle business tomorrow. And with a 3-1 lead, you gotta put your foot on the neck and step down, and that's it. Don't give them any more life.
I agree. I'm going with E on this one. Lakers in 5. You know the vibes. That's what we've been saying since day one of the playoffs. But basically what he said, I think it's going to be the same thing. I think the Lakers already know they got a taste of getting punched in the mouth. Now they're going to get back to business.
Now you got to punch back.
Yeah, now they're going to get back to what they were playing game 1, whether Bam's there or not. They win that game. And then once you won game away, this is where it could be tricky, though. I'll be honest. This is where it could be tricky and where Freddie could be possibly right about game 5. I can see Lakers smelling blood and saying, look, hey, let's finish this shit, especially LeBron. I expect LeBron to be lights out. But what I can see possibly is everyone else freezing up. because they're one game away from their first championship. I can see AD freezing up. I can see, all those guys besides LeBron and Rondo freezing up because they're one game away from their first championship. So I can see where that happens. They slip up and Miami steals one and they force a game 6. But after that, LeBron gets in their ass and tells them, all right, I see what I did here and your act is stupid, but no more fucking games. Let's be AD and let's put this out. And they finish in 6. But and that'll be the farthest. I'm not even thinking game 7. There's no game 7 in my mind, Freddie. Sorry to break it to you.
You don't want to get to that point because that's when you know it's a throw up. Now anybody can win that. You don't want to get to that point.
If there were to be a game 7, LeBron's not letting that slip.
I'm not. And if it's a game 7, they scheduled to wear those black Mamba jerseys too.
Listen, don't let Miami throw on the Vice jerseys, the baby blues. I'm telling you. Don't let them throw on the baby blues, B. I've been waiting for them to throw on the baby blues.
Better than the Merchants.
He's stupid. He said, don't let them throw on the baby blues.
But to be honest, like when I first seen this series, I was talking to CJ about it, and we was talking. I thought the X factor was gonna be Eric Spoelstra, not even a player, because one, he coached LeBron.
Yeah,
while LeBron was there, so he has film on when they lost to the Spurs, how LeBron played, what defense that was played against him that he struggled on. So I thought he was gonna come out game 1 and 2 with a different game plan and basically attack LeBron. He showed a little bit of it yesterday in yesterday's game, how he played LeBron. So it shows that he's going to the film and he's looking at what LeBron is struggling with, because the Lakers before Miami went out of a zone yesterday. Yesterday they weren't playing more of a zone. They was playing more of a man-to-man.
Yeah.
And that changed it up because now LeBron can't sneak into the paint and get the ball and have AD sneak through on the baseline, pass the ball to AD for an easy dunk or easy layup. So now they made the Lakers kind of play one-on-one basketball yesterday. So I think Miami is just going to build on that. You know what I mean? So it's like now the thing is with Miami also on offense, the Lakers can't just key on Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler's not known for dropping 40 points. You know what I mean? So that could just be he did
That's
it.
Why I feel like
who did he did it against? I forgot what series he did it against when he dropped 40. Was it against the Bucks when he dropped 40? He didn't drop 40 again. So it's like you can't just key on that one person because tomorrow Tyler Hero could get hot or Duncan Robinson could get hot. You know what I mean? So it's like they can't just key on one person.
Yeah, that's why I feel like for Miami, like Jimmy Butler's not a scorer like that. So you pretty much need him to play like he played yesterday every game going forward. And who's to say he can do that? He hasn't proven to be that type of guy.
Right. But I want to go back to your point, Freddie, about the defense that Miami played, because that's a great point. They didn't play much zone, if any at all, yesterday. And that made a difference. That made a huge difference because, like you said, the zone, the Lakers were killing that zone because LeBron would drive, either dish it to AD for an easy layup or a dunk, or dish it to the shooters for a wide open 3.
I'll tell you how bad that zone was.
Hold on.
Wait. Just to even that, how bad that zone was. Dwight was dropping assists to AD under the basket.
Exactly. Yeah. He was. It was that easy. But yesterday you seen the difference where those shooters didn't have that, those open threes like they did in game 1 and game 2. They had a few, but nowhere near as much as they did, game 1 and game 2. So I think them switching to a man is a lot better for them. Doesn't mean that it's in their favor because they still got those big giants out there. Exactly. But I think it still works in their favor to play that instead of a zone because zone didn't give them any shot at all.
Yeah, and if you're gonna play a zone, you can't play a zone. I can't even say if you're gonna play a zone.
You gotta have the big guys for that.
Yeah, you gotta have the big bodies to play that zone. You cannot play the zone. Yeah. So I think it's better than playing man to man because now, when that person gets the ball, you're up on them. You know what I mean? So now, and Miami's known for poking the ball away. You got Jimmy Butler that likes to poke the ball away, get steals. You got Hero plays decent defense. You got Jay Crowder that likes to poke the ball away and play. So they got dudes that'll get on the ball. So I think it's better because now you don't have AD catching the ball already at the free throw line. You don't have LeBron catching the ball and just taking jump shots right from there, easy free throws. Now you got them catching the ball at the 3-point line, and now they got to try to drive their way in. And by the time they driving their way in, the help defense is coming over, forcing charges. You know how many turnovers they had yesterday over charges, over offensive fouls yesterday?
Yeah.
So
that was good.
they played their style of defense yesterday, and I think also I don't think Spoelstra needs to go to that zone. I think in game 2 they said they had like 67 plays that they did zone in, and it was horrible.
And another point about that zone is you got to think about it. You're talking about Rondo and LeBron James, 2 of the greatest passers in NBA history that are dissecting the zone. It's not like you're talking about whoever else they were playing who can't pass nearly as great as them 2. So it also makes a difference on who's playing point at that point at that time. So that's a great point that you made about the zone and shit. But so we got our picks. Freddie's sticking with it. He's going with his Miami Heat to either win 3 more straight and win it in 6, which is highly doubtful.
I don't think they're gonna listen. I was telling my boy earlier, my coworker here earlier. I said I don't think they're gonna win 3 straight. It could be,
that's all.
That's what I'm saying. It could go either way. It depends. Like I said, it all depends on tomorrow. If I see Miami comes out hot tomorrow, and then they have that momentum going into Game 5, anything can happen. Because if Miami wins Game 5, to me, I say it's over. If Miami goes up 3-2, I'm telling you it's over. I'm telling you this right now. Y'all could quote me. Whoever, listen. When the viewers, when you see this, this is Monday, October 5th, and it's 8:43 p.m. If Miami gets a 3-2 lead, it's over.
You heard it first. And if he's right, we gonna blast this all over. And if he's wrong, we gonna blast all over.
Wrong, listen, if I'm wrong, you bring me right back on this show, and I would have said, listen, and I'll say I was wrong. But my confidence, that gut feeling I had, just like when I went home yesterday, I said, listen, they're gonna win this game. So my gut feeling is telling me right now, if Miami has the chance and they get a 3-2 lead over the Lakers, it's a wrap. Jimmy Butler is not gonna let them come back into that damn series and take the series away from them. I'm telling you that right now. So if Miami gets a 3-2 lead, it's over. Ring my guys up again. I'm just letting y'all know that right now.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. He gonna have to eat those words, guys. He gonna have to eat those words.
I'm telling you, LeBron needs AD. If AD keeps getting in that foul trouble and he goes MIA yesterday, he's in trouble. Just like he was telling Jimmy Butler, y'all in trouble, and Jimmy Butler said right back to him, no, y'all in trouble. And Jimmy, I'm telling you, somebody.
Well, I just want to remind
and drop at least 30 or 40 points.
I want to remind Heat Nation that the last time, well, not the last time, but the last 3 times that opponents from the Lakers wanted to get a little hyped off of a W, how did it end?
A Game 7? No, I'm playing.
It ended. It ended. That's how it ended. It just ended. It was over in 5.
Yeah, this is a different team. This is team basketball that the Lakers is playing against right now. So they're gonna beat this as a team because everybody that they played, they had superstars. You played against Russ. We have Westbrook and Harden. Then before that they had who else they had before then? They had Trailblazers, and then you had Denver. So everybody had a superstar. Miami ain't got no superstars. They got a team player. They got a bunch of no-name people that working together and who's playing that team basketball together. And that's different than what the Lakers are used to seeing. Because the Lakers they're used to saying, you know what, we're playing against these dudes. If we lock these 2 dudes down, these are 3 dudes got to beat us. You can't do that against Miami because you don't know who could get hot what day. So that's the only thing. That's why I think that's like a big difference between with the Lakers and with the Heat or who they're going to have playing against each other. They don't know who they could key on. So anybody could get hot for Miami. And you can't game plan on one person. But we'll see tomorrow, though. I think tomorrow Tyler Hero might have a breakout game tomorrow. I think it's his time. I think his time is up to have that breakout game tomorrow.
I think it's AD's time to have a breakout game.
Oh, no, AD's going to get in foul trouble again.
AD's
He's going to get in foul trouble again. He's going to put the game on LeBron.
AD's putting up 40 tomorrow.
All right, be 40 to 5 fouls, and y'all lose.
Oh man.
Or he can put up 40 minutes, and y'all can still
Thank
lose.
you for joining us on the E&J Full Court Shot Podcast, Fred. Appreciate
yo,
you.
thanks, man.
Definitely gonna have you on, win or loss, after these finals are over. Appreciate you being on here, my guy.
I hope it's over by Saturday, because if it's over by Saturday, somebody owes at least Sean, I think somebody owes at least 3 shots.
If it's over by Saturday, don't bother showing up. Y'all not getting drinks or food. I'm telling you that right now.
We're gonna show up with our own bottles. We're gonna show up with our own champagne bottles to celebrate at your event.
Woo, Freddie, you better hope. You better hope, boy.
It's not. I'm letting y'all know that right now. This is not ending this weekend. This week it's gonna listen. If it's gonna end, it's gonna be Miami end of it. I'm just letting you know that now. So, listen, y'all never. I'm gonna tell you right now. This argument, y'all never gonna win this argument with me. So y'all need to stop it right now. Just cut. Sean, let's just go, Sean, because y'all not gonna win this argument with me. Y'all know I'm not gonna flip. I'm not gonna change. Y'all not gonna win this argument with me. I'm gonna go with the Heat no matter what.
Respect.
If there was 8 games, I'll say Heat in 8, but it ain't.
It's your boy Jones, Freddie, E&J Full Court Shot. Jones of Sports. We make sports better. Peace.
Peace out.
Welcome to Jones and for Sports, where we make sports better.